Bienvenido al programa de Innovación Digital de Formación Ejecutiva. Hoy estamos en un programa muy especial porque estamos con Brett King, gurú de banca digital, de visita en Chile. Y vamos a conversar. Él viene a una charla mañana de transformación digital y es un agrado para nosotros y un orgullo tenerlo en nuestro programa. Brett, welcome to Chile. How are you?
I'm very happy to be here.
Right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here with us today. We're facing a digital revolution in all industries, led by Amazon, Uber, Airbnb, but not for banks. Okay, which are the action or main challenge?
Maybe I can contest that, but
yeah?
okay, yeah.
But which are the action or main challenge that the financial the bank are facing to take in order to stay, not to stay out of this revolution?
Stay relevant, yeah. So the biggest challenge is the way we use a bank is radically changing right now. So if you think back 40, 50 years ago to your parents when they started a banking relationship, they would have to go to a building, sign a piece of paper, they'd get a book, a passbook, and this is how they would do banking. And they could only do banking in the bank. But today we have many, many options.
Yes.
You know, we can pay online, we can have different forms of banking access, all digital. We can get access to credit digitally. You know, we have a lot more options. But the next 20 years is going to be a radical change in the way banking is integrated into our life. So for example, you know, we'll just be able to say to our phone, hey Siri, can I afford to go out for dinner tonight? And Siri will know the answer to that question.
Yes.
If I want to pay you some money, I'll just say, here's $50. You know, swipe my phone like this and you have $50 come on your phone. So banking is going to be integrated into our life in a very seamless manner. Now the problem with this is that the channels or the technologies that we'll be using for that aren't owned by the banks. They're owned by Apple and Samsung and Amazon and Uber, and these companies own the technologies where banking will be integrated. So but being a bank doesn't give you an advantage.
But Amazon give us financial services too.
Of course they could. And in fact, if you look at China, the equivalent of Amazon in China is of course Alibaba. And Alibaba is one of now the biggest financial services organizations.
And here in
the
Argentina, Mercado Libre is making credit for commerce without banks.
Yeah.
And what do you think about this?
So if you look at China and Kenya and India now, we see particularly in the what we would traditionally call the unbanked space, so people in the lower middle income bracket who have not had a traditional banking relationship, they are now using these alternative financial services platforms. In China today, 90% of mobile payments go through two technology networks, through Tencent WeChat
Tencent.
and through Alipay, not through banks. 90% of mobile payments. In
90%.
Kenya, 90, yeah. In Kenya, you see Kenya launched M-Pesa back in 2007. Now 100% of the adult population in Kenya virtually uses this mobile payment technology. And for the vast majority, more than half of the customers that use those payment networks, they've never had a bank account through a traditional bank. So we are already seeing this alternative banking mechanisms emerge.
And in South America, do you know South America?
I think what is going to happen in South America, I think this is going to be the most important driver.
Yes.
Because your smartphone will become your bank account. And if you look in LATAM, by 2020, just 2.5 years away, 80% of the Latin American population will have a basic smartphone.
Perfect. And what do you think about the relationship between financial industry and the fintech? Under your point of view,
sure. Well, I run a fintech.
Yes.
We started off as a neobank, which a challenger bank, a fintech bank based in New York. And we have 250,000 customers or so in the United States who use our app. What we found is many banks were coming to us and saying, this technology you've built is very interesting. Could you license
perfect.
this technology to us?
It's a white label.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we found actually it was easier to make money for our business selling our software license than it was.
But it's a
as
license
bank.
or it's a white label with a cost per transaction, or is
Yeah, more like that. We license the technology. They pay a license fee, and it is a per user based fee.
perfect. And it's for you. This is the way for
We make
work together.
I guess
with
we make about 70% of our revenue through the licensing
Okay.
technology. So we're working with TD Bank in Canada,
Perfect.
Westpac in New Zealand, BCA in Indonesia, and other banks. We've recently done a partnership in Mexico, which I can't announce as yet, and others. So it's for us, this is becoming a major portion of our business.
What do you think about the regulators? Regulators, it's a key point for innovation.
You can see a couple of markets now, London and Singapore in particular, their regulators realize that if you want an innovative economy, if you want your economy to be competitive in 10 or 20 years' time, you must encourage innovation. If you stop innovation like Bitcoin
Yeah.
or artificial intelligence
Perfect.
or the cloud implementations in your local market as a regulator, then ultimately this means in 10 or 20 years' time, your banks will not be able to compete regionally with
Yes,
these other
with
players.
Amazon, with
Right.
with Alibaba.
So you have to encourage fintech innovation. And so regulators are becoming focused on these sandboxes and mechanisms to bring in fintechs to work safely, where they may be pursuing lines of business or ideas that break conventional regulations.
And do you say that Brazil is the most developed market in Latin America for
fintech? Yeah.
For fintech, yes. But in Argentina, they are working
Of course.
good too. What do you think about Chile? Do you know Chile, a regulator in
So
Chile? Because we are a strong banking system, but we are not open to fintech here.
So I'm concerned about a few of the things I hear about the regulation here in Chile. For example, discussion about cloud.
Yeah.
There's right now a reticence or fear of what the cloud could bring. But in my experience, most of the cloud providers that we work with from a move-in perspective are actually more secure than a traditional bank, because that's all they do, just internet technologies. So I think this is one area I'm concerned about, but I'm also concerned at a sort of mobile wallet strategy and identity strategy, because these are going to be important.
Perfect.
And I'd like to see the regulator experiment a bit more with these things.
Oh, great. And finally, do you have an advice of the leader who are guiding the digital transformation of the financial industry? Do you have
a simple one, simple solution, which is, or simple objective. In the next 5 years, every product you have, you need to be able to deliver on the smartphone in real time without a signature.
Perfect.
If you can do this, you'll survive. If you can't,
Not
you
so
won't.
bad. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Bray.
No problem. Thank you.
Good luck tomorrow for the conference.
Gracias.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Gracias a ti. Gracias, amigos. Nos vemos en un siguiente programa de formación ejecutiva del Diario Financiero. Hasta pronto.